All right, ladies and gentlemen, how are you all doing today? We got ourselves a Division 2 clash between two very good and solid Division 2 contenders in Daragh and Extendash. Basically, the implications for this match going into week 5 is pretty simple. Both teams are third and fourth seed respectively, and whoever wins secures third seed. Whoever loses will still secure fourth seed. They're not gonna go down super far in the leaderboard like what we may have seen in Division 3. Like Moonblast were in third seed, but if they lost, they could have gone all the way down to fifth. So yeah, the implications are very simple here. There's not too much on the line, but if you can get third seed going into the playoffs and you can get a better pick for whoever you want to play against in the first round, it's definitely going to be necessary to get that third seed. So if we take a look at the lineups here, starting off with the lineups for Daragh, it'll be Backcake, CC, Thunder, Torp, and Epic's bagging. I find that very interesting. I'm not sure how well that's going to work out. I know Epix has experience in bagging, mainly CTs. I don't know how much he's grinded in RT bagging, but Epix really hasn't been performing that well so far this split, so maybe he'll have a chance to shine in the bagging department this time around. As for CC running, I like that. I mean, CC is not known to be one of the main Daragh players, Daragh runners, but CC has improved quite a bit as of late in the running department, so I think Daragh will get a little bit more running solidity in that sense. But I don't know about Epic's bagging, though. I haven't seen him too much in RT bagging. It'll be interesting to see how he turns out there. But yeah, actually, Jack's here now, so welcome along, Jack.
Oh, that's freaking late. I must have got the time wrong when this started, but glad to be here nevertheless. So, what is the EA lineup for this match?
EA lineup, let's go ahead and take a look at that real quick. They've been having a couple players coming in and out, but for the most part, they have Sal and Knight playing week in and week out. Knight, Sal, Susui, and Malone, and Susui has also been one of those players that have been playing fairly consistently. They're going to have Malone bagging this time instead of Tears. I'm not sure if that's a tactical substitution or if that's because Tears didn't play, but I know Tears didn't really have his best performance against Phantasmagoria when they played back in, I think, week 3 or 4. It was week 3, I believe, but we're going to have Malone bagging instead of Tears. And in terms of bagging, I think both Malone and Tears are fairly even in the bagging department. Maybe Tears has more experience than Malone, but I think Malone bagging here is interesting because he is a decent runner as well. But I do think Extendash already have the running solidity to back him up. Sal, of course, very prominent runner, MVP candidate in every match he plays in, essentially. And then Susui has been a very solid player for them all around. Picks coming in now. I don't think he's been in the main lineup too consistently. What do you think about that?
Yeah, because last week when we were casting EA versus EXO, we saw Malone running with Tears bagging. So I think Hicks isn't bad. I think he can definitely hold his own in this match. Yeah, I think it'll work out for them. If I remember correctly, Malone, he's pretty consistently been a good bagger over the past couple seasons, so I don't think they're going to be missing much in the bagging department. I think he'll probably have the advantage over Epix because I haven't seen Epix bagging RTs that much. I may be completely wrong there, but I'm pretty sure Malone should have the advantage here. And I think Pix, again, can just fit in pretty well in this lineup. About the same skill levels as these players, so I think overall really strong running lineup from EA.
Yeah, and I think if we're going to compare running lineups between both sides, I feel like Daragh have a little more of the firepower if you're looking at it objectively, but I think Extendash have 4 runners that are decently that don't have too much of a skill gap in the running. Maybe Sal is going to break away from them a little bit in terms of raw running power, but the other 3 are decent in their own right, and I feel like they have a little bit more solidity. With Daragh, you're going to have the likes of Backcake and Thunder up there quite often, and then CC may find himself in some of those exchanges in the top 3 spots, but overall, I feel like Extend Dash have a little bit more solidity within their backup runners, and it's going to be an interesting match because if Daragh can make sure that they have backup behind their top two runners in Backache and Thunder, then I feel like Daragh will have some success here. And make sure they got to make sure that they can maintain their consistency throughout all 12 races, because they have been known to make these sort of individual mistakes that have costed them time in and time out. So it's going to be a hard one to predict.
Yeah, I think like as you were hinting at earlier, I think the main difference between these two lineups is Daragh. Their lineup is very like line heavy, like really fast. Like fun. Yeah. You said like you mentioned Thunder and Backache.
I forgot what Torp. Very solid player.
Yeah, Torp. Yeah, all three of them very solid runners, very fast, very line consistent. All EA, none of these players really known really for like their fast lines, but they're all really well known for their immaculate item usage and just how like smart players they are. So I think it's definitely gonna come down to like how EA are gonna be able to use their items, and if Daragh can stay in the front and Backache and Thunder can just basically outrun EA.
Yeah, basically story of the match for Daragh, just make sure you're as consistent as possible. And then for Extend Dash, just try your best to contend with those really strong line-heavy players.
Yeah.
And yeah, Backache and Thunder. Torp also a very good player lines-wise, but mainly known for his ability to keep top spots, but also get top spots out. Like he has his highlight reel snipes. Very annoying player to play against. So if Extend Dash can get past all that, then they may be able to stay in the match, especially with the shot count that we may see Malone winning out on paper, of course. Bagging anything can happen in bagging. Sometimes there's one bagger that doesn't play too well, or there's one bagger that gets altered item luck. We'll see. But if we're talking about on paper, I feel like Malone will win out here over Epics, but we'll see if they can get the shot count 7, 5, 8, 4, etc., and then they can contend with those top runners in Daragh. We will definitely see a very close match here. And then looking at things, of course, as mentioned before, both teams tied for third seed. Whoever wins will secure third seed, but they won't get second, even if they tie against Phantasmagoria, even if they somehow lose against Apocalypse today, because both teams lost against Phantasmagoria, so they're going to lose out on the head-to-head result there.
Yeah, so this match basically decides who gets top 3. Like whoever loses gets 4th. Okay, apparently we're seeing a sub from EA. We're not sure yet. Okay, yeah, so Connor is going to be subbing for Susui, and I assume Connor is going to be bagging, so that means Malone will be running.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, Connor's definitely a solid bagger. Bagged against him a few times, definitely knows his strats, definitely consistent. So I think he's probably as good as Malone or Tier, so not going to be lacking that much.
Yeah, he's definitely a more of a bagger than a utility player. He is a decent bagger. He's not super standout, but he does have experience, notably with Chef Stallion. I remember back in Elite League Season 4, he was the main grinding bagger there for Chef Stallion. He never like showed out too much, but he was fairly consistent, you know. He would rarely ever drop like a really bad performance. So I think it'll be good for Extend Dash, especially against someone like Epix, who isn't known to be a bagger like in and out. He's only an in and out bagger, I should say. He's not known to be a consistent bagger. I feel like Connor will definitely have the edge here. He's going to get at least 5 shots, I'd say.
Yeah, Sunsui though, definitely a strong runner. Gonna be missing out a lot there. Also like your Daisy player, so they lose a lot of like influence in the match because they can't pick those Daisy tracks like BC3, DKM, which EA definitely like to pick when Susui's in the lineup. They're no longer gonna have that, so they're definitely gonna be missing out. Definitely like a lot gaining through Connor bagging. I mean, Connor bagging, but also a lot lost through.
Definitely, yeah. They're gonna lose a little bit of that versatility, most certainly. But Malone as a runner is still not to be underestimated for sure. I'd say as a runner, as in terms of lines and on paper, I'd say Malone is the better runner than Susui. But yeah, they're going to be missing out on that track versatility. They're going to be missing out on that in-game IQ item usage that Susui possesses. We'll see how Malone stands out though. But I feel like that's good for Extend Ash. I'm not going to say it's like a much better option than Susui, but in this case, if you're going up against really strong runners like Daragh, you're going to have to make sure you have as much running presence as possible to be able to contest. And like I said before, the bagging edge definitely goes to Connor here. So if you can just contest with Daragh, maybe not always be in top 2, top 3 spots, but just be able to keep the spots mixed and then get the shocks in the end to back them up, they'll be successful.
Starting here, so you know who's hosting this?
It'll be Daragh hosting.
Okay, so Daragh's gonna be starting in 1-3. Definitely a good advantage for them because they can pick a track like Maple Treeway, which is definitely very like line reliant, and I'm sure Bad Cake, Thunder, and Torp are very all proficient at. So if they can get their track pick, it'll be really good for them. I think EA are probably gonna opt for maybe KC, maybe a track like I don't know. What do you think they should opt for here?
I think they're gonna come out with KC. I know they like that track. Maybe an RSL potentially. They might come out with it already. Yes, they do.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure last week they top 4'd EXO on this track, so definitely one of their tracks they like.
I'd also like to mention too that having Backcake host is a very good move because Backcake, he's known to, if he's starting off in first or if he's in a top 2 spot, generally speaking, starting off in a track, very, very hard to get him out of a top spot because lines wise, arguably top 5 in the game.
Yeah,
I know he's a very, very solid runner, but at times when he's in the mid pack, he struggles. But when he's up there, holy hell.
Yeah, it's kind of like what UK did with having Luke host that one match because they wanted Luke to start in first, kind of the same idea. But we see RSL getting picked for EA, so definitely going to favor them here. We see Knight already dropping into 8th, trying to pull a golden or some sort of shrooms to get to the front. He does pull the golden. This is a pretty good pull for him. He should be shrooming up into first. You also see Sal pull out a mega, trying to schlag Backcake out of the top spot. Accidentally schlags Knight. That's not what you want to be doing there because Knight was probably going to go into first there. So pretty unfortunate.
I mean, if you're Knight there, you got to immediately call it out like, okay, I'm goldening right, but maybe Sal just reacted a little too late. I mean, it's an iffy situation. I get the attempt there from Sal to try to get Backcake. A little unfortunate that he connects on Knight. You would have been gone in first, like you said. But Thunder actually pulled a golden in 8th too, so now he's the one that's in first now.
Yeah, so we see Knight still trying to drop back, trying to get these items. I'm pretty sure bagging wise, I think Connor's on Daisy, and we see him going forward already. Maybe hinting that he pulled the shock.
Slammed off there. Let's switch over to actually no. Let's keep it here. Keep it here. Sorry.
Yeah, let's keep it here.
So yeah, 5th place here. We are going to see a 3-4-5, actually a 2-3-4-5 for Extend Ash here. Maybe we can switch over to Thunder here. Maybe he can get some potential back as well. And also, yeah, Jack can end up rolling up the score. I would be the one coming in Daragh.
Yeah, it looks like Epix is chasing Connor trying to shock out. Definitely pointing to EA having the shock here. So it could be like shock is very, very beneficial on this track if you can dodge in a star.
We are going to see CC use his star and try to schlag a little bit, gives up on it in the end after 2 attempts. Yeah, I mean, if you're in a star or a mega there, you get to go so far due to the fact that your off-road stack gets nullified. But now CC gets redded, shock comes in for Extend Ash.
Pix dodges up into star, gets, I think, at least one EA member gets EA into boxes. Torp pulls a star, trying to troll Knight there. It looks like a lot of honest spots for Daragh right now, actually.
Yeah. I mean, I get the intention there. If Knight would have been starred there, he would have been falling back super far behind. But then he ends up hitting the wall himself there. I'm not sure where Torp is now. I think he's still in 7th or 8th. Let's see if he comes up. Blue comes in onto Thunder. Thunder's going to lose a lot of spots here, actually, because the pack's kind of tight here.
And EA are also in 2nd. Might be able to get a combo onto him. Looks like a lot of players are dying in the line. Looks like a 2-3 coming up from EA. Torp manages to get into first, presumably with the shrooms or golden. So definitely not that bad for Daragh, considering that they got shock and that EA got shock and the blue. Definitely good resilience from them. Getting a pretty even race overall with score wise.
Yeah, and Thunder ended up going all the way down to 8th. It was an Extend Match player that got redded on the line, so he sneaked 7th there. But in a track like RSL, where people shroom up and get even bigger of a speed boost due to the fact that they don't have that off-road stat that slows them down, I mean, it's really bad to get blued here. But still, not a bad salvage for Daragh considering they got blued and the other team got the shock there. So it was only a +3 race there for Extend Dash coming in.
Yeah, definitely not bad from Daragh. 234 coming from EA might opt for something like RBC. Definitely good drafting track with Torp being the lone runner for Daragh up there. I think Daragh has really good spots for Grumble Volcano. I think that would be a really good pick for them, considering they have first and then a lot of spots that can pull triple shrooms and not triple
Yeah.
shrooms and goldens.
And
So I think,
go ahead.
yeah, I was gonna say I think GB is a good pick, but
And Daragh are one of the more consistent teams in the game in regards to making the rock hop and making sure that they don't miss those. Like they're very good at strats like that, like rock hop, DKS double. But then with individual mistakes like communication every now and again, or any little mistakes like making some of the smaller shortcuts like BC3, they tend to fail on those, which is interesting. But
they picked DDR though, which is probably the second best track they could have picked there. But nevertheless, RBC gets picked again for EA. We're gonna see if fourth think the draft. I'm gonna assume Torp is gonna try to swerve out of the way of the draft here.
yeah, Extend Ash definitely have the ability here. Well, Torp can maybe try to swerve, but Extend Ash can still dictate the pace here. They can have a couple of their players draft their 2-3. I think Pix is going to be coming up here most likely. No, doesn't get the draft off in the end. No, yeah, he does.
Yeah, so looks like I think Malone might have gotten a draft off of Torp there in like the second straight in the room. So we're gonna be seeing Malone take over first. Daragh holding down 2-4. It looks like. So
and he was trying to drag the fib on CC, but CC was and if you got to account for the lag shield there, I think Knight has to just keep driving there because CC wasn't that far behind Knight there. And typically when someone's really close to your tail like that, they can be next to you on your screen or even ahead of you.
yeah, we've seen Knight shroom up into third here. Yeah, it gets shroomed off by Sal actually, I think. So
Yeah.
kind of miscommunication there. Switching over to Thunder. We see us 2-3 coming in from EA, 2-3-4 coming in from EA.
That Thunder hit there.
Maybe. A little bit of
Yeah,
miscommunication there from Daragh.
Because I don't think second would have backed third for Sal there. But so, yeah, it was definitely a miscommunication coming out there from Thunder. So, yeah, Batcake now is being schlagged by Knight, actually. Knight ended up getting a schlag off onto Batcake. So, Batcake will fall behind a little bit here.
Yeah, good
Thunder
job from...
doesn't have much to do with this bomb besides Batcake.
Yeah, good job from EA already keeping Batcake in in those bottom spots, not letting him get to the front, not letting him just basically have free runs. So this is basically what we said that EA needed to do to stay in this match, and they've been doing a pretty good job of it so far. I think I saw a blue come out from Sal. Maybe I'm mistaken.
Getting a snipe off, I believe. It was either a sniper or it was just a trail that he pulled out.
Okay, so still a 2-3-4 coming in from EA, so pretty good for them. I think Torp may still be holding down first.
Yeah, he is. Torp is still first. He was able to maintain that the entire time. He was able to fend off the 2-3 from EA going into lap 2. Basically using his backspams methodically, not getting too over aggressive with them.
I think Daragh might have the shot. Because we see Connor trying to chain these boxes.
Yeah.
And we see Epic's just sitting there.
Then with this mega, would you I'd probably say just use it at grass, right?
Yeah, get 2-3-4 out of bot. Okay, I see a blue. I think that definitely was a blue coming up from Sal. So maybe a blue cancel plus Thunder dodge here.
Here we go.
It's probably the best play. So we see that happen. Ooh, I think they missed the cancel though on Torp. I think it was a little early.
This is a 50-50 situation here for Thunder. Because everyone's small, right? If you carry that, he does pass it off in the end, but gets red.
That's definitely not worth it. You just went from first to seventh. Definitely not that's not worth it in my opinion.
It's a 50-50 decision.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone's small. If you carry that TC all the way up and get TC'd, you'll still be able to keep maybe third if you don't get redded in that situation. And typically when you pass a TC to someone that's small, it can be easier to pass it to them, but at the same time, the person who's small can just stop and back up and play it safe. And that's what we saw actually coming out from Malone.
Yeah, I think Malone did get 8th though. So
yeah.
I think Torp still managed to keep first or at least some sort of top spot. So not the worst. It definitely could have been better for Daragh. I mean, you can argue it's a pretty unlucky chain from Thunder, chaining as Mega and 4th to a TC. So
yeah, I mean, you pass it off in the end, but then in that case, right before the bridge, if you pass your TC off, but then you're slow and everyone else is coming, shrooming up, and they have maybe triple reds around them, you're bound to get hit. And we did see Thunder getting hit. Got 5th in the end, though. Not a bad salvage.
Yeah, top 2, 5, 6. So probably in hindsight, the right play for Thunder slow down a lot of the EA members and let Torp and Badcake get in his top spots. So
Yeah.
probably, yeah, probably in hindsight, probably the right play for Thunder. Got
There's
Malone a
pros and
bottom
cons
spot.
definitely to both decisions. It was
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a tough in the moment decision. With experience, better decisions will be made. And like if I was doing that, like I'm probably more an unexperienced player. I probably wouldn't stop that much. I'd probably just give up. And
If the moment you stop, you have to commit to that. Like if you
yeah,
stop and then if you stop for like a second, then keep going, you're bound to get like slammed off by someone who's shrooming. I mean, I don't think anyone was shrooming anyway because they were small from the shock, but
yeah.
yeah, Thunder, he committed to that, got the TC pass off anyway, props, and he gave Daragh top 2 he slowed down EA and had Daragh just run away from the TC.
Yeah. We see MH coming in from Daragh. Good track pick for them because they have their arguably the 2 out of 3 strongest runners in top 2 with Torp and Badcake. So we're probably gonna be seeing a lot of backstand coming out early from Daragh, trying to get this 3-4 out of the way from EA and just give them a free run in this track.
Mm-hmm. And Torp and Badcake. I think Torp actually burned out in second. Oh no, never mind.
Yeah, just a little bit of lag, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Sal does get into second. Almost gets bumped off. I almost gets bumped off by Torque there.
Good recovery.
It's hard to see what the spots are. So see if someone lags a bomb car. None yet. I think Badkick is still holding down first with Pix in second. Torp holding down third.
Yeah.
Nice mega pull from Knight here.
1-3 here. If you're Knight, I would probably say try to draft Sal eventually. Torp gets back. I was gonna say try to draft Sal. And then if the other bagger's winning out on the bagging battle, maybe just try to use the mega here, catch up, and try to mega Torp. Gets bumped by the bagger, though, by his own bagger, actually.
No, that was Epix that bumped him. So it was not his own bagger.
Okay,
I don't know if that's going to be a penalty or not. I don't know if that's like bad. Yeah. So we see Malone go into a mega. So 2 EA members holding mega. We see, shot coming in from Connor. I think he pulled that in 9th, actually, because Epix was in the front. So two EA members dodging in megas. Gonna take over Batcake here. Looks like Batcake also gets hit by something, some sort of item. So gonna hold back into third. EA holding it on top 2.
Yeah.
There is going to be time for a second shot.
Can we switch over to Batcake, actually, if we have that POV? No, okay, we don't have it yet. So top 2 still coming in from Extend Nash. A target POW comes in. I don't think... Oh, it actually killed him.
Yeah, good POW from... I assume that's a Daragh POW.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
Tigers are neck and neck here going into the last, but Connor does hit the car with the bill.
Thunder, real quick.
Yeah, switch over to Thunder. We might be seeing a really late Daragh shock. 2-3 still for Daragh, so not that bad for them. It'll be interesting to see with these other spots. I do see in this review mirror Torp and CC, so probably gonna be a pretty good race for Daragh. Presumably a 2-3-4.
Yeah, and going back to the bump lap 2. Okay, going back to the bump lap 2, not a penalty in that case. I don't think Epix was streaming there. And then going back to the shock call from Extend Ash, typically you don't want to use middle lap 2 shocks in Moonview Highway because when you dodge, you get into the boost panels. But in that case, Extend Ash had megas in 2-4. And Malone had to waste a mega, I believe. I think he might have gotten redded right before he used the mega there. So then they just coordinated a shock there, and it was a decent shock in the end, but then that POW was just really killer.
Yeah, 2-3-4-5 coming in from Daragh, so definitely a good race for them. Gonna extend their lead to probably around 15 to 20 points.
Yeah, not too bad of a showing so far here for Daragh. I think the shocks have been the main factor here. I don't think we've seen either team really win out too much in the running department. It's just been the shocks so far. I mean, the shock did benefit Extend Ash there, but then, of course, the POW came in. But generally speaking, shock's doing a lot for each team so far.
Yeah. So Daragh up 23 going into race 4. 2-3-4-5. What do you think they're gonna opt for here?
2-3-4-5. Well, RBC is already chalked off here. RBC is a very prominent track to pick whenever you want to draft up and get up there early. Honestly, just pick whatever you're comfortable with. I do see a TF coming in here for Daragh, which is interesting. They're only... Are they 1-5 or 1-4?
There's Daragh is 2-3-4-5.
2-3-4-5. Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the onus is definitely on that extend dash player first to keep his first, and he's gonna have to get the tight box. Typically, if you start off 1-4, you go tight, and then second gets the tight box. Knight does get the tight box, but backcake overtakes, which is the good thing to do. You may get green sniped or anything. First doesn't pull a red, so he's not in position to get redded here. Gets outlined slightly by picks though.
Yeah, misses the mini turbo.
Yeah.
Uncharacteristic mistake from
Oh,
Backache. Nice backspam from Pix too. So gonna extend his lead in first there by a bit. We'll see if he can get a backspam on Thunder as well. Sal holding down third. So 1-3 coming in. Nice fib on the Roomless from Pix. So gonna be unable to take it.
Sal, I think, just falls off on his own accord there.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Maybe the fib kind of messed him up a little bit.
He drifted too tight there and just clipped the edge of the just clipped the edge and fell off there. But yeah, now it's gonna be a 2-3 for Daragh as a result here.
Yeah, blue would be perfect for Daragh right now. I'm pretty sure they're also in fourth as well. So a blue would be really beneficial for them. Throws that fib away. He almost just
thought that was gonna connect on either him or Torp there. He threw that fib away because he was gonna realign because of those nanas, so he didn't want to drag the fib on his teammate Torp there. Could have been really bad, but still 2-3-4 now for Daragh. We may see a shock coming in very shortly. One of the baggers is he already ran away a while ago, so we'll see who has it in the end.
Yeah, Epix is in a star, so I don't think Daragh has it. I'm pretty confident EA are going to be holding shock here. So I see a TS or something, or maybe shock 2-3 after boxes.
The fact that they didn't TS anybody from 2-3-4 is a sign that Extend Dash don't have any dodges currently. So they're going to be looking most likely to just shock into boxes last set and maybe just cheese a few mid spots here.
Yeah, maybe we can switch over to Knight. We might be seeing a dodge come in potentially.
Dodge coming in for Torp actually predicts that shot coming in from Knight.
Yeah, so good prediction from Torp. Gonna be a pretty even race. Looks like it's gonna favor Daragh by a little bit.
Yeah, and by the way, Knight did stop the cast, or I think he doesn't want to be casted anymore. I think he's still streaming. Understandable. So we're just going to be looking at Backcake and Thunder's POVs here. But yeah, very good work from Torp to be cognizant of his positioning, not using his dodge prematurely, and just waiting until the right moment to use that star and dodging up at the very end.
Yeah, so it looks like a 2-3-5-7 coming in from Daragh. Gonna be, I think that's pretty even race, like +1, +3 for each team.
Yeah,
so for either team.
Not a bad salvage for Extend Dash, considering that I don't think they had any dodges. I think Knight pulled a mega somewhere around lap 3. So yeah, Extend Dash couldn't really do much with the shock there. So yeah, it's a decent GP though for Daragh. And we've seen them in the past though give up leads. So hopefully they can stay consistent throughout 12 races, like I mentioned before. That's the key for them to win, considering that they have the slight edge in the running department.
Yeah, for sure. So other than race 1, I think Badcake, Thunder, and Torp did a good job staying in the front, maintaining those top spots. And Connor, like we said, has had that edge in the bagging battle, obtaining the 3 out of 4 shocks, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
I think
there was a
I think
9 in Moonview though.
Yeah, I think Epic's pulled it only on RBC. So Connor doing his job, keeping EA in it by getting those shocks, getting them like a lot of the races, except for I think the Moonview Highway race has been like pretty close in terms of like difference, like point difference. Actually, I think RBC was a top 2 for Daragh, but the races haven't been like too detrimental. There haven't been like too many like huge like top 3s, top 2 4s. So EA keeping it close. I think last time we saw Daragh opt for Stadium because I think they like Stadium in first, but they do offer GDR, which is also another very line reliant track.
Yeah.
So if they can get their pick here, Badcake can just run away with it immediately.
Yeah, this is what you need if you're Daragh. Pick tracks that are fairly difficult to run for the average Mario Kart player. DDR, DKM, those tracks that are really bumpy and it's really hard, really difficult to drive in sometimes. Not those flat tracks like RBC, but it does come out here with, drum roll please, Grumble Volcano. I did mention though that Daragh are usually very consistent with the rock hop here, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, best track in the game coming out here. Always love seeing this play.
I do really like this track as well. It's a favorite among a lot of players in the community.
Yeah, it has a little bit of everything. Has like difficult shortcuts, a lot of like shock call communications, like a lot of different like unique shocks you can use. But it's also like you can run this. Like we're gonna see
Let's switch
back
over
cakes.
to Thunder here. He decides to stop Star Sal and Pix here, which is not a bad idea, but it was before boxes, so there's still bound to pull shrooms here to catch back up, take the rock potentially.
Yeah, we see someone make rock in like third place, so they're gonna be gone by a lot. It'll be interesting to see who that was. It looks like CC. Yeah, good play from CC. Gonna have a little break in first. I'm not sure if he has triple shrooms. If he does, he's gonna be in a really good spot because he can take rock again and dodge the blue.
Yeah, I think CC pulled that box in the beginning in like third or fourth, so not entirely sure if he has triple shrooms here, but regardless, still has a decent break.
Yeah, we see Epics in 10th by a lot. I think Connor's just given up and starting to chain boxes in 9th, which definitely is a viable strat on this track. I know a lot of people have been able to get shock in 9th there, but we do see Connor go backwards with the golden.
If Sal misses this, it's over for Extend Dash, I'd say, if it remains shockless or if Daragh has a shock. But he does make it, starting to contest with the top spots.
Yeah, it's safe to say a lot. I think Tor might also have another shroom as well. So 2-4 for Daragh holding shrooms. Sal's the only presence up there for EA.
Running away with the shock currently. Connor's chasing him, not too far behind, but I still think Epics will be able to maintain here.
Yeah, so definitely look like the makings for a really big race for EA. I mean, for Daragh, if they can get the shot.
Shrooms, but would you? They may dodge Backcake and Thunder, but Sal, no, he doesn't have a shroom. They're gonna get picks out, I think.
They might just dodge picks. Like, it's probably worth it. Oh,
Yeah,
no, they get picked out. Yeah. Okay, so it looks like
it's a fire snake on the line.
Yeah.
Fifth. That's a rare mistake.
Yeah. They probably had like a top 2-4, a top 3 there. If Backcake doesn't hit the snake on the line, it looks like a 1-3-5 for Daragh or 1-3-4. So still a really good race for them. Could have been a lot more if Daragh doesn't make that. I mean, if Backcake doesn't make like that really rare mistake. What do you think about that shot call? It's definitely interesting.
You know, they really weren't in position to do much, right? Because Pix took the cut. They can't dodge Pix in that scenario because Pix could have potentially overtaken and gotten that could have been 2-3 for Extend Dash. So they decided to call him out. I think it was 2 from Daragh and 1 from Extend Dash dodging. So the shot wasn't that bad on paper. It was just the mistake coming out at the end from Backcake.
Yeah, those fire snakes are definitely annoying. I've had my fair share of last turns in like second or first and just hitting them and not getting like 5th or 6th. It can be tricky sometimes.
But not too bad here. It was a 1-3-5 for Daragh here, and they are going to opt to pick Stadium, like you mentioned before.
Yeah, definitely. I think Thunder's first. Or, yeah, Thunder's and Sammy starting first. I think Backcake is definitely stronger this track, but Thunder definitely a very fast player, so I'm sure he's gonna be able to maintain his first here. It's gonna be a big race if these players can just get to the front and maintain their top spots. We're gonna start out with Backcake's POV. We're gonna see if he can get to the front. If he can pull like some shrooms here at the first set and just shroom into first, this could be really good for him. Pulls triple reds. He could probably schlag a lot of these EA members because it's all EA behind him.
Yeah, he's in position to do so. Gets Malone on the trail inadvertently, though. I think Malone just took a really good line and landed on those reds.
Yeah. It looks like CC shrooms up, so it's going to be an early top 3 coming in for Daragh. That's really, that red, that picks lag right there. It's unfortunate. Yeah. But this isn't the worst thing.
We switch over to Thunder here real quick. We are going to see a target pow coming in from Extend Dash. Slows him down a little bit. Sal overtakes.
Yeah, so CC is going to have a little break in first now because of that POW, but a lot of EA members are going to take up these mid spots. So not the worst for EA.
Very adamant to try to get a Knight out of fourth there, but doesn't connect on any of the Nana attempts. Has a shroom, though. It's going to be able to give Daragh a top 3 once again if XNH don't have any shrooms.
Yeah, Torp also has a shroom, so...
Took a really good line and was actually able to outline the 2 players ahead of him that also took cut. So top 3 here for Daragh right now. Backcake, I think, no, he has a gold in here. He's not going to be able to pull any dodges. I think a lot of players are holding dodges at the moment.
Yeah, it looks like Connor is in 10th by a sizable margin, so potentially seeing an EA shock going to be coming in. Malone does overtake first as well, so good resilience from EA getting back in his race after being
This could be a huge swing, actually. I think a few of Extend Ash are holding dodges in this case. I'm interested to see where they're going to use the shock, if they
oh,
have.
EA doesn't have it because Connor just fell off with Bill.
Ah.
So Daragh might have shock, which could be huge for them as well. Maybe TSing Malone at the last lap and in the last ramp and getting
What
some
if
good
Extend Ash
spots.
may come up in a star or a mega, but it's still going to be the necessary play. Malone gets partially target powered, gets that good back spam off
Yeah,
there.
good back spam. We'll see if a shot comes in from Epics.
No, it was an Extend Ash shock, actually. TSing
Yeah.
just one of Daragh, actually.
Yeah, gets bat cake at the end, I'm pretty sure. I think that's a 2-3 from Daragh first. Yeah, so 2-3, 2-3-5 coming in from Daragh. It's a pretty like even race in terms of points. I think it's gonna be like a +1 or +3 in one of the team's favors. So not the worst for EA considering like they were down in like spots a lot that race and were able to come back at the end and get shock.
Yeah, Malone was able to grind his way up to first somehow lap 2, I believe. He either pulled triple shrooms and took the turn skip and then just used his last 2 shrooms to get up to first, or he had a golden and like maybe 5th or something. But good work from Malone to grind his way up to first and get a clean back spam off there at the very end.
Yeah, good job from Malone, maintaining his first on a track where he might not be as comfortable as like Thunder or Batcake.
Let's talk about the bagging battle, though. It's been fairly even. I think the shot count is 3-3 so far.
Really?
Epix has done a decent job so far. He's starting to prove me wrong. There are a couple of tracks in which he got the better of Connor. In RBC, I'm looking back at the VODs here. So starting off in RBC, Epix took the backwards strat right away. I think it was just not a good job from Connor blocking him off. Either that or Connor was staying on that 4th block and Epix was able to sit on the 3rd block and get enough distance to make the strat. And then in GV, Epix, I believe, pulled Golden or Shrooms, and then Connor pulled a Bill, and Epix was just able to take the backward strat and then continuously take the backward strats and secure the shock.
Yeah.
Fairly even shot count. But Daragh, like I mentioned before, with the running power, able to secure a 34-point lead going into race 7.
Yeah, I think bagging on GV is something like I want to talk about because I've had some interesting bagging battles recently on that track, and I want to like hear your input on this because like I've seen a lot of times where either I or another player has made the backward strat like immediately, and then the other player like pulls it in 9th by like chaining boxes. Do you think it's like maybe a good strat to just sit there and chain boxes in 9th with the other because the bagger has to go all the way back to get the 10th place
only if the bagger in 10th has a decent break, because if you're close behind him in RBC, at any point he could just fall off with Bill. Especially in the bridge section, the middle bridge. If he doesn't fall off with Bill in the middle bridge section, then he's going to stop and try to get thwomped. He's going to get the Bill thwomped out of him, and that's going to make him lose a lot of speed. So only if the 10th place bagger has a decent break in that case. And plus, even if the other bagger pulls a shock, he's going to be stuck, right? He's not going to have anywhere to fall off. And if you pull a star, you can trap him and try to star the shock out of him.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the bagging battle, like bagging recently has become a lot more interesting. A lot more mind games than there were in the past. So it's definitely fun to talk about and just like see the development.
Yeah, bagging has evolved. I mean, of course, bagging itself is there's still some luck factor sprinkled into it, but in terms of the amount of prominent baggers that we've seen over the years, and in terms of the meta, in terms of some of the strats, in terms of some of the mind, bagging most certainly has improved and has evolved.
Yeah, I like to see it. I like to see bagging. I think because before MKPS started, I was like pretty annoyed that like it was going to be bagging only because I really like trolling. But I think bagging is growing on me considering like we've seen so much bagging recently that the strats have like evolved because we've seen so much bagging. So it's become a lot more interesting and a lot more skill based than I thought it would be. So my opinions have definitely changed.
We've seen more people picking up bagging as of late too. And
but anyway, we see the room starting nevertheless. So
yeah, here we go.
Yeah,
bagging was a bit of an anomaly back in like 2018, 2019. You'd rarely see like people being like, okay, I'll bag. There were only a select few baggers that could actually bag very well. But since spring split and maybe slightly before that, but around spring split area, we've seen a lot more people coming up in the bagging department here. Now let's talk about the race here. 135 coming in for Daragh here. They are going to pick DDR. They've been adamant with that track. They've been wanting to pick this. It hasn't picked them yet, but it's bound to pick them eventually.
Yeah, you know, Mel definitely wants this track. He's probably got in call like pick DDR. I can like
He's licking his lips right
I can run everyone like
licking his lips right now. He wants to run DDR. He wants to show the world. He wants to show the stream, the fans. He has to take it.
Unfortunately, we're gonna see Gardens come out, so quite the opposite of a run heavy track. So 1357. I'd like to see 5th and 7 at least drop back for shrooms. Maybe 3rd can try to cheese a shroom as well. We'll see if Backgate can maintain his first here. It's very rare you might be able to maintain your first if like no one really pulls shrooms, because usually after like this first shortcut section, this track does become into a running track if you're able to get shrooms and just maintain your top spots.
So you guys didn't see, but in Thunder's POV, Torp got mega, but then Malone got random green with a few greens that I think Pix chucked up and tried to snipe Backcake out with. So even trade-off in that respect. We are going to see Pix going all the way up to a top spot, though. Actually, no, it wasn't greens from Pix. It was from another Extend Ash member. That's a good back spam spot, actually, but Backcake very slickly avoids it.
Yeah, very close. We see good fib from Pix. We've seen a lot of good back spam from Pix, actually.
I've been impressed with some of these back spams from Extend Ash. They've been very crafty, and they've been very hard to predict so far.
Yeah, looks like a 1-3-4 coming in from EA, so pretty good. And we also see Connor in 10th by a sizable margin. Might be able to pull the shock here at these boxes. We see a bomb from Backcake. Maybe to try to snipe.
Too far away to snipe, and the other Extend Ash player that was just slagging in reds is too close. So Backcake is kind of stuck with this. Maybe he can.
I'd like to see him throw it over here, over the wall, maybe.
Oh yeah, we've seen plenty of those snipes come out.
Well, bottom 2 for EA, so gonna forces Knight into a star. So good heads up play. Looks like both of them are in a star. So yeah, we do see the shot coming in from.
Yeah, canceling the blue on picks. Dodging Sal. Sal was gone in first. Also dodged another Extend Ash player, Malone.
Yeah, I think Malone dodged in a star. Not the worst, though, for Daragh, because they can pull shrooms here. Ooh, Backcake's boxes get stolen. It's pretty unfortunate. Yeah, probably could have pulled shrooms.
And, yeah, let's switch over to Thunder real quick.
Yeah.
I don't think he's in position to break these top spots. Doesn't have an item here, and even if he does have an item, the only item really is going to be a bomb, and he's going to have to Hail Mary it, but nope, just pulls a shroom.
Who's in first? Because Sal is in second, so I'm not sure who's holding down first right now. Potentially, I think it's definitely an EA member. I think it would be Knight. Wait, no, not Knight. Who's for last? Pix? Yeah, oh yeah, because he can't still blue on Pix. Wait, no, not Pix. Wait, who's first for them? I can't tell. Is it Malone? Like, I don't know.
No.
That was second.
Spot, and then he got up second. Third. Yeah, it was hard to see, but definitely still a top 3 or a top 2-4 for Extend Ash, regardless of which player we couldn't see in first there. It was most certainly an Extend Ash player nonetheless. And yeah, sometimes it can be hard to see whenever both POVs are in the back there. But yeah, very good shot coming out from Extend Ash there. Blue cancels can be a little iffy, but in that case, with 2 dodges, and also it's an unpredictable shock nonetheless, even though it was a blue cancel. I don't think Daragh were going to use their shocks there to try to predict the blue, because if they waste their dodges, you know, they're all going to be in mid spots, and they're going to be behind the cut, and it's going to be really iffy for them. So if Daragh did have any dodges, then the dodges got shocked out of him. It was a very good shock there from Extend Ash.
Yeah, plus 17 race coming in from Daragh, top 3-8. So definitely a good comeback race, which they need going into these last few races. They're only down, I think, around 17, if my math's correct, going into race 8. So definitely doable. Oh, yeah, down 17. So we see MG coming out for Daragh, and BCW coming in from EA. So we'll see who gets their pick. We have seen a lot of picks coming in for EA, but we do see MG coming from Daragh. So this is very inconsistent track. I don't really know what the best strategy is here. Dara's probably gonna try to at least pull some shrooms.
Get shrooms. That's all you gotta
do. This track is just so inconsistent because you can get triple shrooms and be in first, make gap every lap, and then get TS the last, like at the end, get like 7th. So definitely a very inconsistent track.
A lot of mid spots being occupied here for Daragh. It was 3-4-6. Thunder pulls a green, backs Knight. I don't know if CC has a shroom here, but Backache does. He's going to be able to, okay, chains it actually.
Yeah, pulls triple shrooms is definitely the preferred item on this
Why
track.
not, right? Why not?
Yeah, we see CC with a TC though. Hopefully that TC does not get him off. That could be devastating. EA holding down top
No,
two
it doesn't.
here. Gets the nice shroom skip actually. It's pretty good for Batcake. Gets the nice gap. It looks like he bumps Thunder off midair though.
Okay. I'm glad he didn't use a shroom there. He would have wasted one and potentially got himself off the track. I'm glad he didn't waste that shroom. And plus he has another one to back himself up with. Take gap lap 2. Thunder. Oh, okay. The triple reds from Sal. This could be very iffy going into this turn here.
Ooh, yeah,
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, opposite burn is shroom. Thunder holding down first, not holding shrooms though. So that gives the green light from Malone and Sal to pull shrooms in 3-4 and potentially take gap here. Malone goes for the snipe on Thunder, narrowly misses, but Burns is only protect. Well, Burns is green, so
yeah, he had a red to back himself up with, but he didn't pull it out right away.
So it looks like actually a lot of top spots from Daragh.
Yeah, a couple of EA actually took cut there, so top 2 now.
Yeah. Neither bagger has a shock, I think. Both of them are still going backwards. Connor's gonna opt to go forward and try to pull it in 9th here, which is definitely the strat.
Yeah, he's
definitely
gonna,
what he be doing.
Maybe 4 or 5 boxes just in time. That is assuming he doesn't pull a Bill Golden.
Yeah, Backick with the shroom. Might be able to take first here, actually. Ooh. Hicks dodging in a Bill. Torp also getting shock rated. This is looking like a pretty good EA races.
The Niner.
Yeah, they were holding Bill. It might be a top 4 actually for EA.
Wow.
Yeah, top 4 for EA. That's gonna put them in the lead actually. So very good shock coming in from EA. Shock rating Torp, preventing Daragh from taking gap and dodging picks in a Bill.
Yeah, very good split-second decision there from Connor, considering that if he hadn't done that, if he hadn't gone to chain the boxes in 9th, then he would have only gotten 1 box going backwards in 9th rather than 4 or 5 there. And if Epics were to pull a box, it only would have been 1 box or maybe 2 if he chains it. But yeah, getting those 9th place chains was so important there. Gets the shock in the end, dodges one of EA and a Bill and gets the shock right off. Top 4 for Extend Ash. What a comeback we've seen.
Yeah, Dara's own track pick being used against them, and now they're down around 14 points going into race 9. So unfortunate from Daragh, not like they're on, yeah, like I said, the track pick not working for them, and good spot for EA. They're gonna be able to pick a good track here, something like maybe BCW or a very run-heavy track to extend their lead going into the last few races.
And Daragh were put in some tough situations in that race. There were times in which Backache could have taken gap and just broken away up there, but after he took gap lap 1, he got redded as he was trying to go for the cut, so he lost a lot of speed there. And then Sal ended up having reds behind him, forcing him to burn the shroom. And then Sal pulled shrooms along with someone else from Extend Dash, and they were all able to get up there. They got top 2. They got the shock in 9th. They were able to secure that top 4. So here we go now. It's going to be a 14-point lead for Extend Dash. I think the first lead of the game for Extend Dash, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, probably except for like race 1, probably their first race lead. So we see MC3 coming out from Daragh. Hopefully we'll see if their track pick can work out for them. Putting a lot of pressure on Epics here though to get the shock. Good backstand coming in from Sal, getting both Torp and Badcake in the process, but Sal does get redded. It looks like CC's goldening up, so CC's probably going to be holding down first here.
Yeah, he's a huge break too. I mean, a blue is generally pretty bad in this track because typically people will come up in shrooms and stuff and they get chained into reds. But he has a decent break so far. He can maybe start to back his life considering that he's not really in a spot to get redded here.
It looks like Epics might have pulled the Bill actually. So Connor is in 10th, which is really good for EA because shock means everything on this track. Well, actually, no, Epics is sitting there. I thought Epics build up, but
or maybe he is a lap behind if he did build up.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but nevertheless, I think Epics is trying to start out with him. Maybe I don't know. I'm not really sure what's going on.
Yeah, I'll check.
We'll be able to see.
Won't get redded, so we are going to see 2-3 for EA, 1-4 for Daragh. I mean, just the pack is very spread out, so I don't think we're going to see too many key exchanges here besides this TC pass. Doesn't
Yeah,
connect.
this may be a shockless race. I don't see anyone having it right now. It's just over to
Thunder coming
Thunder.
in. Golden. Shot comes
Oh,
in though.
I, I don't know if anyone dodges there.
No, it was just to get Extend Ash into boxes there, but
Um,
nothing
I,
doing for Extend Ash
I
besides.
think I think EA might have gotten good spots. Like we see Torp, back kick, and Thunder finishing 3-4-5. So I'm pretty sure our top two at least for EA. I think it's a 1-3 maybe. I think CC might have held on to second, but I saw Sal getting third. So definitely another good winning race for EA. Unable to pull the shock on the race where Daragh needed it, and EA proving resilient, not getting the track picks, but still making good races out of them.
Yeah, and like you mentioned before, yeah, Epix did bill up. So Epix was a lap behind, but he was trying to stick with Connor so that he could try to maybe get the shock out of Connor if he pulled it. But Connor ended up getting in the end. So yeah, that shock did more wonders than I thought it would there.
Yeah, 2-3-4 coming in from EA, so probably around plus like 5 to 7 race for EA, which isn't a lot, but definitely what you need. Going into race 10, I believe, probably gonna be up around 15 points. So really good for EA here.
I'm trying to see if something in particular happened to CC. Maybe he got shock redded, but I saw second taking cuts, so that's not a possibility.
I think CC just held his first throughout the whole race.
Yeah. So what? So it was a 2-3 for Extend Dash. You were saying. I was looking back.
Yeah, 2-3-4.
Okay. Okay. So not a bad salvage for Extend Dash there.
Yeah, they're up 17. So
Yeah.
going into race 10, if they can just get a pretty good race here, just make it so Daragh have to take a lot of risks race 12 to win this.
DDR comes out here.
Yeah, DDR, see if Fat Cake can prove himself. But yeah,
Now-
really good spots for Daragh on this track as well, holding down first and a lot of bottom spots. So we're gonna probably be seeing Fat Cake and Thunder try to go for goldens or stars here to take Ultra lap 1.
Yeah, the pressure is now on CC here. He's starting off in first, not known to be one of the more prominent Daragh players in this particular track. Does fail the sand hop, giving EA a top 2 now early on.
Yeah, we see Backcake pulling the star, which is gonna be really good for him to take Ultra with. Yeah, but we do see a lot of Daragh members back here with, I think,
Thunder,
third being their
now,
high spot.
Yeah, he has a Mega in third. So would you, if you're Thunder, would you go for Mega Ultra?
I wouldn't, honestly. I would just try to hold it and potentially wait for shock if I were him.
Well, maybe you could say Backcake could take Mega Ultra, and then Backcake could just hold his star, because 2 dodges in 3-4, right? You want, okay, Thunder fails it completely, actually. So there goes the potential of breaking the top spots there. Now Backcake has a star and fourth still, but still going to be a top, I believe, top 4 now for Extend Dash, as a few people took the Ultra there.
Yeah, and Epix is in 10th, I'm pretty sure, though. So a shock could be,
Actually,
not top 4. I think, I guess Daragh is one of those top spots.
Yeah, so it's a 2-3-4, actually. So I think one of Daragh ended up taking the Ultra in the end there. But yeah, I think, Connor's running away with the shock now. He's been running away since about 35 seconds. Now we're going to see Backcake trying to break up those top spots here. And that's much needed. You don't want to hold the star all the way. It looks like Torp actually... did he fail the sand hop, or did he hit an item that was placed lap 2?
I think he failed it, because I saw him like coming out of the cut like slow, so I think he like clipped the dirt or something.
Yeah. So definitely not what you want. A few mistakes already coming out from Daragh here. Still first being occupied. Thunder gets redded out of 5th.
Yeah, it looks like EA are everything behind Backcake, so it might be a shock like right now. Maybe get them into boxes, potentially pull a red. Actually, Torp isn't still in 3rd, so maybe we'll see a shock coming at the very end. We do see an EA member in this.
Thunder.
Yeah, so sort of Thunder. CC isn't a star, so we're probably not going to be seeing a shock coming in. It looks like a pretty good race for Daragh. I think it's like a 1-3-6-7.
Was there a D? Wait a sec.
Yeah, there was no shock. Connor DC was shock. Oh. Yeah, that's really unfortunate actually, because that could have been a really good EA race if they got if they were able to use the shock.
Connor's probably screaming at his monitor right now, man. That could have been the sealer right there for Extend Dash. That could have been the nail on the coffin. Really unfortunate for them.
That's the worst feeling. You're just holding shock and just DC. It's terrible.
But yeah, I mean, we've seen this. in the
Yeah.
clutch, Daragh just don't show up, and it's easy for me to say sitting on my chair because I'm the least clutch player alive, but yeah, these mistakes that have costed Daragh time and time again, they've not been good. They're gonna look. I believe. Okay, yeah, the mega fail in lap one from Thunder could have gotten all the way up to first, and maybe mega a couple of the Extend Dash players going for Ultra. Could have been a huge swing. And then, of course, we saw Tort failing the Sandhop lap 3, but he ended up getting a top spot anyway, regardless. I think he was able to pull Shrooms to get back up there. But Daragh need to make sure they stay consistent.
Yeah, but you see Tears being subbed in from Connor, though. Tears, very notable, very proficient bagger, if you saw last week. So not going to be, again, not going to be missing much in EA. Definitely going to have another strong bagger contesting Epics. So hopefully Tears can clutch up these last 2 races and secure the win for EA.
Definitely, yeah. Tears is on a similar level to Connor in regards to experience. I'd say they're both evenly matched in the department, so it's definitely not like a weaker sub. It's a sub because Connor, I think his net might have died or something, so that might be the reason for Tears coming in here. So 3 different baggers. We've seen 3 different baggers here.
And make it 4 with Bobby coming in the room saying hi.
Bobby, VC3 Ultra, likes to make his name. He wants the clout. We've seen him join rooms a few times in previous casts.
Yeah, I guess we could go back to like the conversation we were having earlier. But speaking of Bobby, like these baggers like Bobby, Jazz, Mac, all these baggers have like given, I know me and a lot of other baggers, inspiration to like practice and become better, because seeing how successful they've been with their teams, I know personally for me, it's given me a lot of motivation to practice the strats and just become better, so I can like be on the same level as them, and has made bagging like quite more interesting again. Because before, like I said, before MKPS, I was done with bagging. I found it was really boring, but I found more interest in it again. I think it's more exciting now.
Yeah, and I also think the World Cup had a significant factor in regards to the evolution of bagging. Because before the World Cup, Mac was a decent bagger. He wasn't anything stand out, but he was decent. But then when the World Cup came and he was called upon to play for USA East, he improved dramatically. And then myself too, like I wasn't even that good of a bagger before the World Cup, but then when I joined LTA and they were having bagging struggles, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna pick up the slack here. I'm just gonna grind the hell out of bagging. And yeah, World Cup definitely was a factor in regards to the evolution of bagging, in regards to the quantity of baggers that we've seen as of late. So yeah, I've also been inspired recently by the improved metagame in the bagging, and yeah, I found myself bagging a few times so far this split for Moonblast. I'm more of a utility player. I run when needed, bag when needed, but yeah, I've definitely been bagging more as of late due to the recent evolution of the meta.
2 races left. EA up 12. Gonna see if he can hold on to these races. And he can hold on to the lead. We'll see if they'll offer the Maple True pick for that cake. Gonna be starting at first. Off for Goldmine, actually, another notably run heavy track.
Okay, so now we see Wario's Goldmine. Yeah, they really haven't been pulling the trigger on Maple Treeway. It's been the most staple 135 track pick. We see it coming from most, if not every team so far in the matches that we've casted, but not Daragh. They're different. They like to stand out. Coconut Mall comes in here. Like I mentioned before, both teams are fairly strong here, so it's going to be hard to predict who's going to win in this particular race. But Daragh needs to get that frontal presence early. Down 12.
Yeah.
What happens?
Yeah. That cake gonna be like pretty good this track. Definitely another like really line reliant track. We switch over to Thunder real quick. We see that Thunder is holding onto the bill. This is really good information for Epics. He's gonna be free to hit boxes at the ramp in 9th. So a shot could be very beneficial for Daragh here.
Yeah.
Gonna need a big race to turn the tide going into these last 2 races. You see Malone and Knight spitting out, presumably getting hit, and Sal getting hit. So looks like a lot of top spots here for Daragh going into the end of lap 1.
And Pix just failed, actually. I think he hit the car, so now it's going to be a top 2. coming in from Daragh rather than a pick. He had a bit of a breakaway, actually, so that mistake, I mean, we've seen mistakes from both sides now. So here we go. Top 2 for Daragh. CC,
Yeah.
I think, maybe reading one of Extend Ash here right before the cut.
Yeah. Thunder holding Bill in 6. This will take him up to 2nd, I believe. Malone getting hit, so this Bill in 5th, very powerful. We see both
so far.
Yeah, we see both baggers sitting at the set. We see a blue coming in, gonna be hitting back kick in first.
Would you? Okay, I don't know if either bagger has a shock here. No,
I don't think they do. Yeah, I don't think anyone has it. Good Nana coming out. Let's see. I think Torp still is holding down first, so 135 coming in for.
Let's switch over to back kick. Just try to fight Knight. Doesn't connect. It was too far to the left there, and Knight was able to just stay a little bit to the middle of the track there and avoid that snipe. Knight may land on back kick here. We see Thunder using his bill.
Yeah, they're gonna probably get up into 3rd, so it's me in 2nd. So gonna be a top 3 coming in for
Very good reaction from back kick to be able to cut inside those banners.
Yeah, good back spam on Malone as well. So top 3 coming in for Daragh. This is exactly what they need to turn the tide in this war going into race 12.
And he backed at green too because he realized that Thunder was going wide there. So he backed to green not to hit his teammate and gets the back spam off too. Top 3 for Daragh.
Yeah, it looks like a potentially top 3-8. So I think it's around plus 17 coming in from Daragh. So they're going to be up around 5 going into the last race. So definitely going to be coming down to the wire.
Here we go, yeah. And Backcake in that situation, he was going to careen straight into the Nana. And instead of hopping to avoid the Nanas, he actually he drifted super far tight. And then as soon as he cut inside of those Nanas, immediately took his drift wide so that he didn't lose any speed essentially from avoiding those Nanas, and was able to get that back spam really tight on that little section there with those wide Nanas. Very hard to avoid for Extend Ash. And top 3 secured for Daragh. We have ourselves a game here going into the last race.
Yeah, as I said, plus 17 race for Daragh, up 5 going to the last race, but they do have the advantage. If they get their track pick here with top 3, then like BCW, it could be pretty much over at the track pick because they have their top 3 runners in top 3 with Daragh, with Backkick, Thunder, and Torp picking up this top 3. So definitely, if they can get the track pick here, gonna be pretty much over.
Yeah, and reminder for those of you that weren't here in the very beginning. Winner takes 3rd seed in the group. Loser will they'll be relegated to 4th. It's not going to be super big of a deal, but you want to get the win here. Make sure you get as good of an opponent in the first round as you can. Delfino Square comes out here. Anything can happen here, Jack.
Yeah, this is definitely a very, very item heavy track. So they needed this track pick here. It's just step 1 into taking down this top 3 and winning the race.
Yep. Here we go. Are we going to see... Yeah, we're going to see first place from Daragh there, taking a bit of an iffy line to prevent EA from drafting. But I think Knight gets the draft off anyway, so he's going to be able to contest with those top spots early.
Yeah, we see Backcave dropping down into A, trying to get these potentially golden or triple shrooms, pulls a single shroom, not what you're going to be seeing for Backcave.
CC actually passed the TC off inadvertently to Thunder, but then Thunder lag passed it back to CC. So... we'll see what happens up here. Maybe Pix could get it back here. I was actually about to say, yeah. Doesn't connect, though.
Yeah, bagging is going to be very huge on this track. We see Tears getting an early lead in 10th. The shock is basically going to mean everything at the end of the race because dodging a double is just so overpowered. It can basically get you from 8th to 1st, and it could just change the whole tone of the race.
Bagger pulls the bill, but I think one bagger was able to pull a golden and get a little bit more of a break. We'll see who that is in a second. It's going to be... it looks to me like a... top 2-4 now for Extend Ash, if I believe.
Yeah, Epics is in 10th, so definitely going to be favoring towards a Daragh shot. Oh. Ooh, that TC pass is going to be really bad for Thunder.
I would think that. I'm going to say, if I were Thunder here, just try to pass that to another runner, because he has a gold in there, and he actually passes it to Backcake, who used a Mega there. So good coordination between the two there.
Yeah, Epic's still in 10th. No one has it as of yet, but definitely, again, looking likely for a Daragh shock here. Malone holding on first, 2-3 coming in from Daragh. It's be interesting to see if any of these Daragh members are holding triple shrooms or any items that can take the double with in these 3-4 spots.
Or playing it safe here, going wide from those back spams. But I'd like to see Malone maybe back wide here now that Torp is Starting to go wide to play it safe here. Malone hits the wall.
Oh, yeah, when I hit the wall, I got bumped by one of the baggers potentially. So gonna be now a Daragh top 2. Oh, it looks like a target pal potentially coming in. We do see a blue coming out on Thunder. Also gonna hit. No, Torp lags. Ooh, Torp does get affected though. I think Torp is in first.
Yeah,
2-3. Ooh, the red breaks on nothing actually. No, it's 1-4, 2-3. I think it depends who gets the other spots.
Knight dies before the last turn too, as Backgate comes up in a golden, so it's going to be a fairly neutral race, slightly winning for Daragh here. But we may see a pen. We don't know who bumped who. But
Malone gets slammed into the wall in first, lap 3, so potentially a pen.
Potentially, yes. And typically with bumps, they only get penalized by maybe 5, typically speaking. But that was a major change in the race.
Yeah, I mean, 5 could be enough to just win in the race. 2, 3, 5, 8. So definitely an EA winning race by maybe 3.
By 1.
Yeah, so by 1. So they lose by 4. But we don't know if it's going to be a pen yet. If it's a -5 pen, then they will win.
Ladies and gentlemen, stay in your seats. Grab your popcorn. We're going to keep you guys updated here. It's a +4 win for Daragh as it stands, but we may have a potential troll penalty. Yeah, but if we do see a penalty coming in and Extend Dash win, you got to look back at some of those mistakes that Daragh made. Notably, EDR.
Yeah, a lot of people missing Sandtop.
A lot of people, yeah, and then Thunder missing the Mega Ultra in early lap 1, late lap 2. And that could have gotten him up to first. That could have maybe mega'd him, or he could have mega'd some of the Extend Dash players going for cut behind him. It could have been a completely different story. It's these mistakes that Daragh cannot afford to make at this stage. And yeah, we are going to see one trolling penalty here. Yeah, it was a bump. Was Epic shrooming in that case?
Not sure.
Typically,
I mean, if you're shrooming there, don't you go through the shortcut?
Yeah, no, he wasn't shrooming. So it's a judgment call for the refs. Typically, if a bagger's not shrooming and they bump a runner into the wall, it's a judgment call here. If he was shrooming, then it 100% would have been a penalty. But Epix was not shrooming in that case, in Gardens at least.
So I think it's. Oh, now there's another pen coming in. Okay. So this one's on Moonview Highway. Well,
penalty upon penalty upon penalty. Yeah, the Moonview Highway one. Actually, there was one that I remember on that one, but I kind of forgot.
All right, let's watch this. I think, yeah, Epix was definitely shrooming there. So it's -5, I think. Oh, no, man. This is confusing.
Oh. Yeah, I remember that troll, too. I remember I mentioned that it wasn't going to be a troll. I didn't see that he was shrooming, though.
So looking in the ref pen discussion, it looks like Gardens and RDS are going to be -0. So they're not going to be any pens. So it all comes down to this Moonview Highway.
-0 on Gardens. Yeah, I agree with the -0 on Gardens.
Yeah, I don't think he was shrooming there.
RDS -0.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. I don't think that's a pen.
They say -0 for the Moonview Highway one as well, because Epix pulled Bill, and he was not shrooming in that case.
Yeah, so it's looking like a Daragh win after all the drama.
After all, I know. Sorry to keep you guys up for so long, thinking that we may see penalty cart Wii being implemented here, but yes, it is going to be a Daragh win.
Yeah, so it's been confirmed, no penalties, because Epix wasn't shrooming in any of them. So Daragh does win the match, either by 4 or 6. So Daragh is going to clutch up 3rd place in the division, while EA is going to be in 4th.
Yeah. Another close contest coming out from the side of Daragh. Most of their matches so far this split have been nail biters. And they're going to be glad. They're going to be thankful that DDR did not come back to bite them, because that race they did not play that well at all. But it didn't come back to bite them, because that was the race that started the momentum swing for Extend Ash. But they ended up squeezing it out in the end, Daragh, and they're going to be happy. They're going to secure 3rd seed here going into the playoffs. And yeah, that's all I have to say about that match. It was a very entertaining match through and through, and I appreciate you guys for coming along. We averaged a little over 100 viewers. Thank you guys so much for coming along and witnessing a hell of a match like this. That'll be it for us today. On behalf of Mario Kart Boards, I'm Jaggy.
I'm Jack.
Thank you guys for coming along. See you guys next time.